Welcome to Align Christ-Centered Yoga. My name is Linda and I'll be guiding our practice today. And today's practice is a memory verse flow. So today we are celebrating the fact that God has called us to be witnesses. He has called us to witness to the world, to tell everyone about all of the things that He has done. And in Isaiah, He says this, I have revealed and saved and proclaimed, I am not some foreign God among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Yoga is a practice of witnessing. It is a practice of being fully present and of noticing all of the things that are going on, body, mind, and soul, as we practice. And as we learn how to do this on the mat, we get better at seeing God at work in the world, in our lives, and all around us. So I invite you today into a restorative practice. Go ahead and sit, maybe elevating your hips up on a blanket or a block. Rock a little side to side, front to back. Begin to find your sitting bones. As we settle into our practice today, I invite you to let go of any need, any preconceptions of what poses should look like. Instead, I invite you into a practice of all the feels. We'll adjust shoulders and hips and feet and ankles and begin to notice where the stretch and the pose is right for you. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Begin to notice how the breath is moving through your body. Let the day fade away. Draw your attention to the mat, to the way that the mat feels underneath your legs and feet. The foundation of the earth underneath you. The weight on the sitting bones. Begin to deepen the breath, slowing it down, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And can you begin to feel the body taking up more space with that breath? Take 2 more breaths here. As you're ready, let your hands come down to the mat and pressing into the right hand, bring that left arm all the way up and over and reach and extend and go the other direction. Just back and forth here. Feel that stretch from fingertip all the way down to that hip. And can you anchor into the sitting bone as you reach? Connect to the scripture verse. I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. I am no foreign God among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. I invite you to come back to center. Bring the hands out. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And just warming up, exploring what's going on in that upper back, that lower back, the hips, the shoulders, the neck. How is the body moving with the breath? And one more time here. And then interlace the fingers and bring the hands all the way up, and exhaling, bring them down. So press into that right hand, bringing that left hand over, but this time really settle into it and find the stretch. So again, maybe you can anchor into that sitting bone a little bit more. Notice what happens if the shoulder is a little bit forward or a little bit back. Notice where the gaze is. How does it feel to look down or to look straight ahead or to look up? And begin to hold that. Can you say the scripture verse? I have revealed and saved and proclaimed, I, not some foreign God among you. And you are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Go ahead and reach and come up and over and go to the other side. So without any anticipation or expectation, find the pose on this side. Again, maybe the hips move a little bit front to back. Maybe you can anchor into that sitting bone a little bit more. Maybe the shoulder rolls forward or back. Where is the gaze on this side? Can you say the scripture verse? I have revealed and saved and proclaimed, I, not some foreign God among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Go ahead and reach that arm up and over and out. Bring the hands out to the side and find that cat stretch. So just tucking the chin a little bit, lengthening through the back of the neck, drawing the belly in, interlacing the fingers. Gently reach that right shoulder forward, lift it up. Again, move it a little bit front to back, up and down. Where is your stretch right now? And maybe you can look underneath that arm, let the head get a little bit heavy. And then as you're ready, switch it to the other side. So again, that shoulder just kind of rolling forward or back, up and down. Where is the stretch where you want it today? And as you're ready, press the palms forward, reach the arms up, exhaling, bring the hands behind you. And let's start with the hands just a little bit wider than the hips. Draw the shoulders a little bit forward and then round them back and feel those shoulder blades rotating around and kind of tucking underneath the ribs. Find your cow pose. Say the scripture verse. I have revealed and saved and proclaimed, I, not some foreign God among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Taking a deep breath in, arms rise, palms together, and exhale, bring hands to heart. Just close your eyes and take a few breaths and notice how the body feels, how the breath is moving through the body. Feel the foundation of the earth underneath you. What sensations do you notice? Go ahead and release those hands down. I invite you to come off of the block and create a pinwheel shape. Let's bring that right leg in front and that left leg behind. Hand to hip, begin to gently just bring that hip forward and back. So you're just guiding that left hip forward with breath. Again, just kind of noticing how the body responds to that movement. And then bring the hand back to the foot and around to the other hand, back and forth here. As you're ready, bring the palm parallel to the floor and rotate it. So the palm comes up as it goes to the hand, or down as it goes to the hand, up as it goes to the foot. And then maybe turn the head in opposite directions. There's a whole lot going on here for your brain. Are you still leading with your breath in the midst of all of this? And then as you're ready, just float that right hand behind you, sweep that left arm forward and up, hip points to the sky, open up through the hip, through the chest, and release. 2 more times here. This last time, I invite you to come all the way up, hold the pose. Again, just notice. What happens if you shift the shoulders a little bit? Or shift the hips a little bit? Take one more breath here. And release. Go ahead and hold on to this front knee and rock the hips, drawing the knee up and back. Begin to connect the scripture verse with breath and movement. I have revealed and saved and proclaimed I and not some foreign god among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Go ahead and fold yourself over the knee. Extend, lengthen through the spine. Let the forehead come to the mat. Find breath. Maybe massage your forehead out. And if your forehead doesn't come all the way down to the floor, maybe this is a place where you use a prop and you bring a block underneath that forehead. I invite you to take one more breath here. Again, just noticing body, mind, and soul. What do you notice? Gently press into your hands and come forward. Bring both legs forward. I invite you to windshield wiper your feet and bounce your knees and rock a little hip to hip. And then sitting, what do you notice? Maybe one leg feels a little longer than the other, or flatter or heavier. Maybe one side of the body feels different than the other. And repeat the sequence on the other side. So right hand to right hip now. You're just going to, again, lift and lower. And as the body rocks, notice what's going on in the hips and the back. What are you witnessing? What is being revealed to you right now? One more time. And then continue with the rocking of the hip, but take the hand back to the foot, sweep it across, just back and forth here. And bring the hands up and across. Palm is down as it comes to the hand, up as it goes to the foot. Beginning that rotation of the shoulder. Can you start this from the shoulder rather than from the hand? Can the gaze move opposite the arm? And then as you're ready, sweep that arm up, lift the hips, and release. And two more times here. And then come up and stay up. And again, adjust. What happens if you move the hips slightly, right to left or front and back? How can you adjust that top shoulder to provide a little more opening in the chest? As you're ready, exhale and release. Hands to that front knee, begin the rock here. Let's add the body to it this time. So the knee will come up, and then as it comes down, drop the head and the shoulders. Round up through the back. Add the scripture verse. I have revealed and saved and proclaimed, I, not some foreign god among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. I invite you to come over this knee, again, extending through the spine. Maybe you bring your blocks with you if that will help you, and you support your head on a block. And as we settle here, think about this first word, reveal. How has God revealed himself to you recently? What has that revelation taught you about his character or his attributes? Begin to lengthen through the spine a little bit more. Let the body get a little heavier. What do you notice? And as you're ready, release and press into your hands. I invite you to come to table. Knees are underneath the hips, fingers are spread wide. There's a little bubble of air in the palm of the hand, and those fingertips are drawing towards the wrists. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Can you connect the scripture verse with the movement and the breath? I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. I, and not some foreign god among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Go ahead and curl the toes under, drawing knees up and into the rib cage. And begin to explore this first downward facing dog and just gently move the feet side to side. If you have any wrist or shoulder issues, maybe you rotate the palm so that pointer finger comes towards the front corners of the mat. Taking a deep breath in, let the heels rise. Exhale, let them come down. And 2 more times here. Heels rising and falling. Settle here for 2 breaths. Letting the body settle, noticing what are you learning from this pose. On that next breath in, let that right leg rise high and gaze forward. Bring the foot in between the hands. And let that back knee come down and up. And maybe it would be helpful to have blocks on either side of your foot. That is always an option. And we're going to add a hamstring stretch to this. So just drop that back knee down and extend that front leg as the hips come back. And then come into the lunge, curling the toes under and the back, raise the leg. So all 10 toes face forward, drop that back knee. Come on back, find that hamstring stretch. While you do this, can you keep the body on the same plane? Drop the back knee, find the hamstring stretch. We're going to add to this, come forward, raise that back leg, press to the inside hand so that left hand, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, come down. Drop the back knee. Straighten the front leg. Come forward into your lunge. Raise the back leg. Find your upper body twist. And one more time here. Drop the back leg. Hamstring stretch. Come forward, press into that inside hand, raise that back leg, rise into the twist, stay here. And begin to explore this. So maybe that back heel can press to that wall behind you. And what happens if you press at the base of the big toe in front? Maybe the inner thighs can press towards each other a little bit more, or maybe the abdominals engage differently. One more inhale here. Exhaling, release. I invite you to meet me in plank and just hold the plank for a breath. And then as you're ready, let the knees come down to the mat. Child's pose. And rise into kneeling mountain, rounding the back. Inhaling, bringing the palms up in prayer. And exhale to child. And curling the toes under, coming into table, tilt your hips, and meet me back in downward facing dog. And shake your head out, knowing yes. And just begin to notice, right side of the body compared to the left. Is there a difference in the feet? Is there a difference in the legs? Or the sensation up and down the sides of the body or in the hands? On that next inhale, left leg rises high. And gaze forward, foot comes through the hands. Again, just start with that back knee, tapping down and up, just beginning to open up that psoas muscle. And as you're ready, we're going to add the movement. So start just with that hamstring stretch. And then come forward and raise that back leg. That back knee come down to the mat, front leg extends. Come forward, knee over ankle, back leg rises. One more time here. Now we're going to add to it. So back knee drops, front leg extends, hamstring stretch. Come forward, knee over ankle, press into that right hand, sweep that left hand out to the side, raise the back leg and find your twist. And unwind, drop the back knee. Hamstring stretch. Lunge forward, raise the back leg, raise the outside arm, twist to the inside of that front leg. Exhale, unwind. Back knee drops. Hamstring stretch. Raise the back leg, sweep the arm up. One more time. Knee drops, hamstring stretch. Raise the back leg. Outside arm comes up, twist to the inside of that leg. I invite you to hold it here. Again, explore. How could you adjust this pose? What would feel really good right now? Maybe there's something you can do to get a little longer somewhere. Can you say the scripture verse? I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. I, not some foreign god among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. I invite you to unwind. Go ahead and bring that back foot forward. Hips will rise up as that back foot pushes off. And find that first forward fold, maybe holding onto your elbows, top of the head reaching towards the mat. You're going to find length in the spine. Engage the abdominals, gently move side to side. Begin to think about things that the Lord has saved you from. How have you seen God's salvation at work in your life? I invite you to stay in forward fold, but let those hands come to the mat. Stay here for one more breath. Then hands come halfway up. Extend the body as long as you can. Exhaling, come down, pressing through the feet, rise all the way up, mountain pose, palms together, and exhaling, bring hands to heart. Staying here in mountain, what do you notice? Taking a deep breath in, let the arms rise, exhaling, forward fold. Hands to shins, rise up halfway and exhale down, one leg back and then the other. Meet me in plank. And I invite you, maybe bending your knees and bringing them to the mat. Come all the way down to the mat. Taking the legs out a little bit. Go ahead and bring those hands behind you down on your hips. And I invite you to round the shoulders forward a little bit and then rotate those shoulder blades around and under. And raise the body up. Chest rises through and the heart pushes forward. And then exhale. And as those shoulders round forward, just bring the palms up, nose to the mat. And then deep breath in, let the upper body rise and the palms press down. And exhale, draw the shoulders forward, nose to the mat. And 2 more times here, just rising and falling with breath. And I invite you to come all the way up and to stay here. And maybe the palms turn in towards each other and thumbs are towards the mat. And can you say the scripture verse? I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. I, not some foreign God among you. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. Exhale, go ahead and bring those hands in front of you. I invite you to stack your forearms and turn your cheek to one side and just wiggle your hips. And turn your cheek to the other side. And bring the hands behind your rib cage. And come up through table, come to child's pose. And from child's pose, round up into that kneeling mountain. Exhale back to child. Gently come up, tilting the hips, curl the toes underneath, and meet me in that downward facing dog. So this is actually our last pose of the day, or last standing pose. So just stay here for a few breaths and, can this become a restorative pose for you? There's still a lot of strength in it. Maybe the fingertips are gripping towards the wrist. Maybe those heels are pressing down. Can you engage the abdominals? But can you also find that stretch and release in the feet, in the backs of the legs, the lower back? I invite you to stay here for one more breath. On that next inhale, lift the heels, come forward into your plank, and then draw the knees down and child to table. And one more time, child to table. And meet me in your child's pose. Maybe the knees come a little bit wide. Are the arms in front of you? Are they behind you? What feels best right now? Begin to think of this verse God has revealed himself to us. He has saved us. And he has proclaimed his name through his word, through the prophets, through the Spirit. We are his witnesses. Where did you hear God's name? Who proclaimed God to you? How have the scriptures proclaimed his name to you? I invite you to press into your hands and to slowly come up. Bring your feet in front of you. I invite you to come onto your back and to draw your knees in. Just give yourself a hug, and you can wrap those arms around the outside of the legs or underneath the knees, whatever feels good. And maybe you rock side to side and you begin to kind of massage out the muscles on either side of the spine. I invite you to meet me at center, and the feet are still off the floor, toes touching, knees together. Begin to circle the knees on the ceiling. And as you're ready, go the other direction. Maybe one more circle here. And meeting me at center, gently draw the knees into the rib cage and away, back and forth here. Gently bring the feet to the mat and extend the legs long. Let the hands rise up and let the shoulders drop. One more time here. And exhale down. Let the hands come down to either side of the hips. Maybe windshield wiper the feet and bounce the knees and wiggle the hips. Maybe you turn the head from the top of one ear up and over to the top of the other. Meeting me at center, settle into Shavasana. And I invite you today, as you settle into Shavasana, just to consider what it means in your life to be a witness. With an inhale, inhale God's love and light. And with that exhale, imagine that shooting out from your body into the world. I invite you to stay here a little longer if you can, but if you need to move on with your day, begin to bring movement back wiggling fingers and toes, rotating your head side to side. Taking a deep breath in, bring arms up and overhead and stretch as long as you can. Fingers to one wall and toes to the other and reach. And as you're ready, bend your knees and roll over onto one side and settle here. And that next inhale, press into your hands and rise up, finding your sitting bones. Check in one final time, body, mind, and soul. Notice what has changed since you came to the mat today. Notice also what has stayed the same and accept it as it is. Taking a deep breath in, let arms rise up and overhead, palms together, and exhaling, bring hands to heart, joining me in prayer. Holy God, we thank you so much for your revelation, for salvation, for freeing us from the bondage of sin, all of the ways that we sabotage our lives, all of the ways that we distance ourselves from you. We thank you, God, for your proclamation and for being invited to be your witnesses, to being called to be your witnesses. So, Spirit, we just ask for the words. We ask for the wisdom. We ask for the courage to share you, Jesus, wherever we go. And it is in your name, Jesus, that we pray. Amen. Thank you for practicing with me today.